Thank you for coming on short notice. Speaker Pelosi has taken the unprecedented step of denying the minority party's picks for the Select Committee on January 6th. This represents something that has not happened in the House before for a Select Committee by the historian. It's an egregious abuse of power. Pelosi has broken this institution.
Playing politics is the reason things are so screwed up in Washington. Nancy Pelosi, for the first time in history, denied the minority party's pick for a select committee, a committee that's going to investigate what happened on January 6th. Why? Because those Republicans have some questions that can only be answered by Nancy Pelosi. Why was it so easy for dozens of people to overwhelm our security and get into the Capitol building? It's not like they used any weapons. What we now know is that our law enforcement knew there were people planning to do this in mid-December. Of course, that's inconvenient when you look at what Pelosi did directly after it happened. She focused on blaming and impeaching President Trump. Again. Now, this is even more troubling than it looks. Do you all remember that a dozen or so people got arrested a while back for planning to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan? BuzzFeed News, a group that's definitely on the left, did a deep dive into what happened. Check out what they had to say. An examination of the case by BuzzFeed News also reveals that some of those informants, acting under the direction of the FBI, played a far larger role than has previously been reported. Working in secret, they did more than just passively observe and report on the actions of the suspects. Instead, they had a hand in nearly every aspect of the alleged plot, starting with its inception. The extent of their involvement raises questions as to whether there would have even been a conspiracy without them. There were 13 men arrested for this heinous plot against Governor Whitmer, but BuzzFeed reported that there were at least 12 people working on the side of the FBI. And some of those informants were the ones who planned the meetings, paid for hotel rooms, and said that they could get explosives to blow up a bridge. Could BuzzFeed be right? Could this be a case where the FBI created a conspiracy and then arrested the other people they recruited into their plot? Like pretty much everything else in America, we know that the FBI has been politicized. We've all seen the Peter Strzok text message that says he'll stop Trump from becoming president. Strzok is the FBI agent who oversaw the Russian collusion investigation. We now know that the FBI knew that the information they used to get FISA warrants to spy on the Trump campaign were full of false information. But I bet a lot of you didn't know that Peter Strzok is also the guy who oversaw the investigation into Hillary Clinton's email scandal, which saw the FBI admit that Clinton was guilty of mishandling classified information, but did not want to charge her with a crime for it. So yeah, the FBI is highly politicized. Now, that brings us back to investigating what happened on January 6th. Could it be possible that the FBI not only knew about the plan to enter the Capitol that day, but also took part in making it happen? Who paid the price politically for January 6th? Donald Trump, the same person that the FBI plotted to stop from becoming president when he was candidate Trump in 2016. I mean, if the FBI was political before the Trump presidency, why wouldn't they be political after his presidency? Look, if the truth is what the committee investigating January 6th is trying to find, Pelosi would welcome these Republicans to the group. They would want all sides to dig deep into what happened. But that's not the case, is it? Because Nancy Pelosi is not interested in the truth. She's only interested in hurting the opposition party and Donald Trump. This committee is perfectly timed to try to bring out their findings right before the midterm elections in 2022. And if they can completely control the investigation, they can control the narrative surrounding it. In a bit of good news, though, it looks as though House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy isn't going to let that happen. He said that Republicans are also going to investigate what happened on January 6th.
Unless Speaker Pelosi reverses course and seats all 5 Republicans, we will not participate. But we think it's too important that those 2 questions, why were we ill-prepared? Why did they know on December 14th? Why would they jeopardize the lives of the Capitol Police? We will run our own investigation.
I think that's smart. If we allow Democrats to control the narrative, it will be one-sided. They will put the blame on Trump and anyone else they can purely for political reasons. It won't be an investigation, but more of a brainstorming session to find the best angle to take on the midterms concerning what happened on January 6th. The Republicans McCarthy selected for the committee would derail that plan, and that's why Pelosi refuses to have them be a part of it. Have you noticed that Democrats are unwilling to call out anyone on their side? But that's not the case with Republicans. I haven't heard any Republican politicians say that what happened on January 6th was okay. But I have heard several Democrat politicians say that the attacks on the courthouse in Seattle were okay. I heard Democrats say that the thousands of protesters taking over the Wisconsin Capitol building back in 2011 was what democracy looks like. We also saw Democrats raise money to bail out rioters during the 2020 summer of chaos. Listen, we can't allow Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats to control the narrative around January 6th. They already say things like, it was the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. If they completely control this investigation, it'll end up being called the worst attack on democracy since Eve gave Adam that apple, or since the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Getting to the bottom of what happened on January 6th is not important to Nancy Pelosi. It's just politics. Because it's always just politics for Democrats. And that's the simple truth. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to become a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic, click on the link in the description and give what you can.